Me and my mom never really talked about it ever again. It was just I started working. I think it was 7 Fs in 10th grade, 7 Fs. So I've done like $45 million in like revenue into my bank accounts. It pissed me off not seeing it out, living on the water.
I dropped out of college at 20, I had just turned 21 like 2 weeks earlier.
I think spending money is extremely counterintuitive to like making money. And man, like your numbers need to be your baby. They just are lying to people. Like, yeah, you're gonna make 20K a month, just pay me. These big e-com or Amazon automation people, it's a flawed model. Like if I want something, I'm gonna go 100% to it. It was always someone bad in my life taking me out of it. Yeah, life is war and I wanna beat the war quick. That's pretty much it. I don't spend as much money as people think.
Welcome back to this week's episode of the Parker J. Smith Show. Today we are joined by my friend Jacob Levinrad. Jacob actually went from being a high school dropout, 7 Fs on his last report card in high school to now scaling a 8-figure business by the age of 23 with over 100 employees working underneath him, shares all the sauce that he has gained over 7 years of entrepreneurial excellence, I would go so far as to say, and not only that, but building a massive personal brand along the way. This is a can't miss episode, so stay right where you are and get ready. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the next episode of the Parker J. Smith Show. It is, of course, your host, Parker J. Smith, joined by my co-host, John Melillo, and a very special guest today, Mr. Jacob Levinrad, the $1 Million Man. Jacob, we've got a whole bunch of great talking points I want to get to today. The very first thing I want to jump right into, something that John and I have talked about multiple times, and like that we have just always found this consistent line through all of your content and your journey, this idea that like life and business is war. And, you know, I know that the story of your dad, I believe, giving you like a samurai sword that you've got up in the office. And, you know, we had a guest on a few weeks back, Tristan, and he had a very similar mantra and mindset around it. And I'd love to just start by jumping into that and where you got that killer mindset from to be able to achieve what you have at the age of 23. It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah. I mean, look, I fear failure, and I'm okay. And I've really contemplated the concept of going broke, but for me, it's just like, it'd be such a pity to lose. And I think because of that, I just live in the perspective that like, if I want something, I'm going to go 100% to it. Cause I think anything that isn't that is just taking you away from it. So with life and with work, I just, from like as early as I remember when I kind of wanted to start making money at 16, I just knew like it was making money and nothing else like would matter. I think the only time I let in that bullshit was when I somehow got like, you know, brainwashed or sidetracked. So I always say put on your shield when you leave your house, but it was always someone bad in my life taking me out of it. And I got really good when I was like 18, 19 with social media. I was posting about it a lot because I was alone a lot more. And I like alone, no one could brainwash me or distract me. I knew what I wanted, and that was to go all in. And, you know, I just want to stack the cash I need to just retire off that passive income. And if I wanted to, be done. So yeah, life is war, and I want to beat the war quick.
I love it, man. I think that two things I'm immediately picking up on, and for the audience who they don't know, you know, you, if I'm not mistaken, dropped out of high school.
Yeah.
Right. So we're talking like, you say from 16, oh, I knew, like you mean like with conviction, you knew at 16. Like I dropped out of college at 20, I had just turned 21, like 2 weeks earlier when I dropped out of school. But I mean, that was a totally different.
Yeah, it was almost like I wouldn't say fate, but I was almost pushed out of school a bit. I was a really bad kid. I was partying a lot, throwing parties, selling. I wasn't drug dealing, I was selling jewel pods. So they wanted me out, man. I was in like a little private school. I think the biggest thing is with getting pushed out, it was like, should I go to a public school or not? And I just told my mom I wanted a semester off to try to make money. And if I could make money, I'd want to stay out of school. And it worked. I just stayed out. I took the last week of finals. Everyone's going into finals, and I just skipped it. And I stayed home. Me and my mom never really talked about it ever again. It was just I started working. And then, you know, 6 months later, like I have photos, videos I published on my YouTube on like my story stuff, going back and showing like I'm just like in my bed, drop shipping my mom's crib. And then a year and a half after that, I turned 18 and moved to Miami.
Yeah, weren't you like taking an exam and you're just like, bro, like
Fuck
I don't know a
this.
single answer on this test. And then you walked out after that.
I have the deep story on my YouTube, but like the day I left officially, I had a little Honda Civic, and it was June or so of 2018. Must have been like probably June 5th, early June. And I was mid one of the finals, and I was like, what the fuck am I was disgusting grades. I published my report card It's in, I believe, either on my website or my My Story YouTube video, where I think it was 7 Fs in 10th grade, 7 Fs, which is like, you have to really,
dude, that's hard. That's hard.
And it was because I just, once it was January, February, I had the school put me on a contract saying if I don't perform, I get, if I get, for instance, any C's or 2 C's, I get a after school detention. If I get 2 after school detentions, I get a suspension. If I get 2 suspensions, I'm expelled. So it was just like this slippery slope where they kind of wanted me out. They were putting me on like this be perfect, you're getting booted. And I was fucked. So that's what already prepared me. I was sneaker reselling and doing Supreme stuff, flipping Supreme in mid 10th grade when I was 16.
Yeah.
And then I already had like 10, 15K. So finals time, I was like, worst case, I was just going to flip shoes and I'd make 5, 10K a month. And I think it really hit me. Like my plan prior to 10th grade was like, I'm going to go to college, like get an AA and then transfer because my grades sucked, transfer to a better school and be an engineer. But I was like, what's the point? Like if it was all for money, I knew I could make money out of school. And I didn't know the full how, but I started just really young. And I always say like, I'm a little blessed for it because I kind of got pushed out of school. It wasn't really, no one has the conscious decision, let me drop out at 16.
Yeah.
Especially unless your parents like say you should do it. So I got kind of lucky getting forced out a bit. And it just started me like 7 years early. I would say most adults start making money at 23. So I started 7 years prior to that.
At this time of your life, isn't your brother just like crushing it too?
Yeah,
Like,
my older brother, he does well, thank God. He was one of the biggest models I talk about online. I think where I got at least that make money idea was heavily from him, especially when he was like 19, 20. He was really ripping. So it was just like such a eye-opening experience seeing someone like that close to you making so much cash. So again, almost like super blessed, super fortunate to have that circle around me with my brother. And he put me on to some cool stuff. I didn't really take off. He was doing Instagram, like meme page marketing.
Yep.
Writing a lot of these like puberty,
Classic.
Daquan type pages.
Yeah.
And flipping those pages. I got into that a little bit, but it was really e-com. That was like my first little one up with those AirPods. That was like my first real one up.
I want to talk about that because that's an OG story. You got sued by Apple.
Yeah.
Like what was that like, dude?
Dude, I mean, the whole so I've done like $45 million in like revenue into my bank accounts, like not client revenue or anything, like revenue into my bank accounts for work I've done in the last 7 years. And like the first 3 years from 16 to 19, it was predominantly from ecom. Really 16 and 17 is when I did like $1.3 million selling AirPods. Over 2 years. It was like such a mess. It was different processors. My biggest processor store was on Shopify Payments, funny enough, 450K. And then I was just bouncing processors. It was bad. I got like 3 identities, full banned, blacklisted on like, I forget what it's called now, it's something with processing. And they call it maybe a black book. But basically, if you're on this, no one approves your name for processing. Yeah. And man, it was just nuts. I just didn't know all I knew was like tons of money was being made. I figured out Facebook ads and I was just like, it was like a money printer to me. I couldn't stop until that Apple letter. The Apple letter was what shut it down.
So that Apple letter comes in. You're 17 at the time?
17.
You're 17, you've got something where you're like, holy shit, I cracked the code. I'm printing money. Apple letter comes in and it's a cease and desist. They're like, you need to stop or we're going to make you stop. What goes through your head in that moment? You're like, are you just, next thing? Or is it like, shit, no, dude, like, is it dread? Scary, and you're like, oh my God, I spent 2 years building this, blah, blah, blah. Like, I always wonder, especially at such a young age, I feel very confident right now. If I got a cease and desist and somebody was like, you got to shut everything that you have down. I'm like, I have the skills, I have the relationships, I have the self-confidence now as a 24-year-old where like, I could go and do it again, no problem. I don't know that I would have had that as a 17-year-old.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't even a sense of defeat. Defeat for sure, I felt. What I was more worried about was the liability. Like one big rule I pushed into my team like 2 years ago, I'm really big on now is like, Lem, if it's not legal, ethical, and moral, it's not worth it. Yep. But back then, I didn't even have that conscious, let alone understand the repercussions until they sent, like the guy was 17, it was titled to my mom. My mom wasn't home, but I said, I'll give it to her. And the guy just gave it to me. I never talked to the guy again. I don't even remember his name. It was just this older dude who I don't even think he was technically serving me because it wasn't a lawsuit. He was just giving us instead of it being mailed, I don't know. I vividly though remember I dunked it in my hand, answered the door, grabbed it, and I opened it in my room. And I didn't even tell my mom, I don't think really ever, because I just handled it myself. I called the lawyers myself and I'm like, yo, I'm 17. Like, don't, ruin my life. I thought they were going to sue me for every dollar of revenue. And it was like 1.3 mil. I was like, oh, I'm done.
You're like,
I'm in restitution or whatever it's called, what that Fire Festival guy is in. I'm going to owe money for 10 years. Dude, so I was like past defeat. I was like, I'm fucked. It took like a week and a half to get over that. I remember vividly the back and forth through email. And I got to publish it somewhere so people see. I think I might have on a YouTube video about it. I have the back and forth on email still. The store was called Earphones for Less. And I did that because AirPods for Less. I knew I'd get sued. So I thought Earphones for Less, I was safe. But yeah, those back and forth email were super scary. It was pretty much them saying like, shut it down. They made me show them revenue screenshots. I think I'm safe enough to say it now that I kind of like, I didn't finesse them, but I only showed them revenue from one store. So they thought it did 250K. I don't know what would happen if they knew 1.3 mil. I'm praying they're not watching this. But man, like, so I know bigger guys. I don't know what happened to Supreme Patty. I should ask Luke and Nats because I know he's a big part of that.
Bro, he was like
he was the king of that.
Yeah.
They sold, I think, 10 million of it.
Whoa.
And they probably got like hit way worse. But I know everyone
I
stopped.
didn't even know they got hit. They got a lawsuit too.
I'm sure. What it was, the company explained it to me. Apple contracted this legal firm, huge legal firm, all across US, contracted them out. Hey, anyone selling our product, shut down. Because it was like an epidemic for Apple. Their product, and it wasn't just being sold. They were pretty good. Like, I wouldn't rip it, but like friends and family who like weren't, they didn't have a ton of cash, I'd give them a pair. They cost me $10. So to spend 10 for like AirPods, they're 70% as good instead of 180, it was a no brainer.
Oh yeah. I mean there's like, I feel right now there's a resurgence of this like reps culture of like they call it like, oh, it's a hustle, it's a side hustle. Reselling, you're not reselling, you're scamming.
It's fucked up.
You're really just buying a knockoff, and now they're saying like, oh, it's the same manufacturer, so it's not the same.
Yeah.
You're buying a rep, you're reselling it, and dude, I did the same shit. I mean, when I was would have been, I believe, my sophomore year as well, I started a streetwear reselling company called Main Street Heat. Me and my best friend in high school.
Popular.
What's up?
It was popular.
Yeah, we did well. Like we were able to actually do a good amount of like legitimate business, buying and selling, flipping, whatever. And then
fun.
I remember we spent like $800 on a rare Supreme box logo hoodie.
Oh my
and
God.
It was like
you guys hit.
It was like our net worth, bro. And we were like, that was it. And we thought, we were like, dude, we're golden, like we're in.
You're like, we're up.
And it came in, and we're looking at it and we're like, I don't know. And we took it to our buddy who did, and it was fake. And,
oh my
and it was a
God.
rep. And we were just like, we were so cooked. Like we couldn't get our money back. Like we're just done. And we paid the guy through like fucking Western Union, like
you're fucked.
sent him
You
cash.
should
Like,
have
we're
known.
so
You learned.
done. We
You
should have
learned.
known. And we were like, and then we're sitting there with it and we're like, we have two options. Either we're now bankrupt and we're out of business because that was every dollar we had made in the first month of doing it, or we pass it on to the next person. And we listed it on eBay for $850, and we sold the rep, and somebody else bought it, and we were like,
a fucked up
shit.
space.
It was, and that business very quickly died out and whatnot. But I remember in that moment, like being like, damn, it's war, it's kill or be killed, and thankfully I can do business a bit more ethically now than that.
We all start somewhere.
We all start somewhere.
Did you jump on the mask wave during COVID?
No, I wasn't. I was in a weird spot during COVID. Like I had a bit of a rut when I was like 17 and a half to 18 and a half. That was right when COVID started. I was in a bit of a rut. I wasn't doing much. I played like some Fortnite. So after the AirPods saga, I didn't really know what else I would do. And I just started like, just for lack of better words, chilling. I at that point had like 80K too. So my mom wasn't going to say to go back. I've been out of school for a year and a half, but my friends were graduating in 4 months. I had pretty much like a 6-month hiatus. I just didn't really work. I tried going pro in Fortnite. Didn't work out. I made like $6,000, but didn't really work out too well. And I was just in this weird like middle ground, but no, nothing with the masks.
Were you still at home, or I know you went to South Beach before you kind of like?
I was going to North Beach a lot, South Beach a lot. I didn't know where I wanted to live. I knew I wanted to move out, and it was actually my aunt who had told me I just need 6 months of rent. I guess I didn't know what was the catalyst to move out. Like, how do you know if you can afford it? I didn't have that control, that like variable to compare it to. And she was the one who told me, like, you just need like 6 months of the rent. You're totally safe to do it. I'm like, fuck, like, okay, I can do it. And I started Airbnb to find the spot I like, and I actually started in Sunny Isles.
Okay.
I got a COVID deal, crazy deal, $4,000 for a 3-bedroom, 40th floor, beach view. Like,
Wow.
dude, crazy time in Miami. The owners were, I think, super underwater. They just needed a tenant. They live in New York.
They see this like 18-year-old kid. Like,
Dude, I like in retrospect, this was 2020, I think, because I rented Panorama 2021. So this must have been October of 2020. And I did a 6-month lease. And I don't know why I didn't extend it. To be fair, Brickell was a lot better for me. I grew a lot in Brickell, but I did 6 months there. Then I was like, I want to go deeper. Yeah. And I went to the Brickell, the heart of this world now.
And now you have a house. You're how far outside of like this real like downtown area are you?
I had my, Brickell experience. It's a very great place. It's literally the New York of Miami. And I think the beautiful thing people don't see about it is like you're so surrounded by energy and people. You meet so many people like so naturally. If you meet one friend, it's like so easy for that friend to just like you're just gonna see him at Starbucks or see him XYZ. It's very small. Yeah. It's like literally like 5 football fields, I'd say, maybe 6 football fields in total. It's very small.
It's crazy to me because you were young as fuck, bro, when you moved to Brickell. I moved here when I was 22, and I was like, damn, like all my homies are in Boston, just like chilling with their parents or whatever. Like I'm in Miami. Like, bro, you're 18.
I know. I mean, it's even crazy in retrospect. Like, it's nuts. It's been 5 years. It doesn't feel like it. But I did Brickell for 4 years. I slowly moved up. My wealth really started growing in 2023 and 4 and 5 now. Like, that's when I really, like, I mean, I didn't even see $1 million to my name. My first 15 million I made, I don't think I saw $1 million in my bank account at all. And then it was when I really hit in 23 when I kind of faded out, but Talk Media was still doing really great. And then I upgraded a lot. I went from like a 1-bedroom to like this 2-story, 3-bedroom to then 6 months later, I moved into this house I'm in now, and I've been there for like a year, and things got fun then.
Yeah. How much of that are you writing off, by the way?
80%.
80%?
I do 80%. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I think right now we're doing events there a lot. So I think with that, I have the whole downstairs as a content studio. My whole thing is like with taxes, I found is it if it's ordinary, necessary, and like, you can define it well, I think is how a good CPA, a good tax advisor explained it to me. So I feel like I could, if you were freaking the IRS and get mad at me about it, I could like argue it, Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. They might want 20% back.
Hey, I think our CPA told us if there's a bed or a couch that you like, use consistently, then it gets a little bit more hazy. But
that's the bedroom's the 20%.
Exactly. Like for me, I'm writing off probably 60% of mine, most like my entire second room. You got to stretch it a little bit, right? And ultimately, like at the end of the day, what are you saving in taxes? You're saving an extra $15K over the year. Like worst case, they come back for you and they're like, hey, you owe us that.
They got me good. I almost did Puerto Rico last year. I was there for like 3 weeks checking it out. My number though, like I always say with people avoiding taxes. Sorry, wrong word. With avoiding tax, I think everyone has their number where you would dip to like Puerto Rico or renounce your citizenship. And I decided like my number is consistently like if I look at like a $2-3 million AGI is where I would do it. Right now I'd be saving like $700K. I feel like that's I can live in Puerto Rico for $700,000. Yeah. But it's tough. It's tough. The taxes situation is honestly like disgusting. I hate it.
Yeah, it is. And in Florida, we have it much better than and in the U.S. in general, we have it much
crazy
better.
To me.
You wanted to live in L.A., right? And it's like the state income tax there is like 15%.
I could never.
You literally will lose over half of what you make.
No, I wouldn't do LA. I'd maybe do Vegas right now. Miami are the two places I think like or where you want to be. If you either, for me, I love Vegas because the events there, it's so prominent. There's such good events there. I'm really trying to get into speaking now. I'm doing a lot more of these speaking events. But I don't know, Miami's just special. I learned so much here. I met so many great people here. And I don't know, I think if I wasn't here, I wouldn't be where I am today. 100%. Just in the single fact of just like, you're just so motivated here.
Yeah. 2 questions that come to mind immediately is, you say you're not doing well in high school because you're a party, like go. And then as an 18-year-old with a little bit of money now and no real responsibilities to anyone, you move to one of the party capitals of the world. What did that look like? Were you kind of forced out of it a little bit because you're not really getting into 11 as an 18-year-old?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
no 11.
Was that like a little bit of the force structure into you, or did you fall back into it? I'm curious because I moved here at 24 and thank God, like I had my wife, I have a lot of structure. Like
if you got the wife,
I know who I am. I know all that. So it was very easy for me to just stay away from certain places I knew I shouldn't be. But shit, man, 18-year-old by yourself, a little bit of money in your pocket. Like,
look, I didn't even know, like, I had like zero friends here. I didn't know anyone when I came here. So I made a habit to talk to everyone in the elevator, which I think also, if you're thinking about moving to Miami, I think it's a great rule of thumb. And I had a dog too, which helped me a lot because I was like able to talk to a good amount of people with the dog. Really cute dog.
You still got that dog?
Yeah, he's like 5 now. But I was just talking to a lot of people, meeting friends. I knew no one, which obviously made it I had to work. That's why also that year was really good for me. Actually, you know, it's funny. I went and I took that hiatus and then I moved out. And then I kind of did e-com, also starting social media. I was like kind of balancing both. And then I just ripped in e-com that first year in Brickell. And I ran a huge store. I did like about $2 million in revenue from that store. It's a huge business. And it was also my most legit e-com store I've ran. It proved me a lot to the space. But long story short, man, with meeting people, I didn't know anyone who partied. The first guy I met was like the first guy, I didn't even know, like, we have a funny story. Me and this guy, when I met him, we had gone to Poppy Steak then the next week. He was also so appalled. Like, he's never met someone that young who had money. I think also, like, you know, 10, 15 years ago to make 100K in a month at 18 wasn't possible.
No.
Now, a few years ago, it was like very, very rare. And now, even now, it's getting a lot more common.
We've had 3 people on this sitting in that chair who have done it, which is crazy.
Because age is like becoming, I think age is becoming less relevant, and then information is becoming more easy to access.
Yes.
Yeah. So these young guys are like realizing they don't have to wait, which is just so cool. It's crazy, this whole like info economy that's coming to life. But yeah, for me, this one guy I met, he was like it was mind blowing to him how much money I would spend. We would like go we went to Poppy Steak and I wanted to get the briefcase. And this guy was never spending money. So it's funny. I was like kind of getting him to spend more, and he had good money. This guy, he was just very frugal. He had never met rich friends. We were kind of both each other's first rich friend. And I didn't even know what a cocktail was. So like, I remember he said like, yo, let's get a cocktail. I had a fake. And I said, can I have a cocktail? And the fucking waitress looks at me. She's like, what? She's like, what cocktail? I'm like, just a cocktail. And I had no idea there was even like flavors and different types.
Yeah.
Dude, so I was like totally, for lack of better words, prude. I hadn't even kissed a girl until I was like 19.
Damn.
And then I got, you know, things started leveling up, the Tesla, the apartment. And then I started going out. I had definitely like a 6-month, 12-month spree. I was going out a lot. It was so new to me. It was so cool.
Yeah.
Did you meet Sedlak in that mix when you started going out a lot? Because that's when
it wasn't even, you know, I knew he had his little party phase too. We didn't really go out much together, but we were friends. I spoke at his NFT event, but yeah, then it kind of got out of me. I was really focused on work, man, because even that one guy I knew was then really my only friend for like a year and a half. My other close friend was my first guy I've ever hired, who I hired when I was 19. That was right when I was kind of starting the wouldn't even say then it was a coaching business. That's when I was like selling a course. It was just straight up, I was selling a course. He was doing a lot of the back end for me. That was my first technically like person who worked with me, who thankfully is still with me now. Like, we've worked together. I've probably paid him well over millions of dollars, but it's been a great relationship. He's like the top guy on my team now, which is really cool. It's been
just Roth.
Yeah, it's been a great success story with him, and we've made a lot of money together. Nowadays, it's like, dude, it's honestly crazy how much things have changed. But yeah, no real party phase, was just enjoying Miami. It was going out with a lot of girls. I loved the concept of dates. I would just work in the day, go out at night.
Dude, that's like, it is like the most fun thing. Like that, great. Like dating, like meeting people, and like everything is very exciting in the very beginning. Like, 100%. Yeah, I mean, that's honestly the best part of going out is being able to actually, like that is always the best part.
It's people.
Is the people. That's actually one of the issues I have with Miami nightlife is everywhere anyone wants to go, it's like it's too dark and too loud for me to even have a conversation.
It's a bit degenerate.
Like, it is. It really, it's just so focused around the substance and drugs and alcohol that you almost lose the social aspect of it. Like, if everyone that we went out with wakes up the next morning, doesn't even fucking remember what happened, it was too loud and dark for me to even talk to.
Also, the boats are cool. The boats are super sick.
I love boats.
Love boats, man. That's
I just
like
bought a boat this week.
Really?
Boat. We got to all go. Nothing crazy. I just got a wake boat. But I felt like it pissed me off not seeing a boat living on the water. So I just had to do it. Literally, I'm doing the final inspection tomorrow. But yeah, the boat life in Miami is so fun.
Oh, that is the best. Like when we've moved down here, I think before we came down, I had been on a boat like in Miami once, and just had like such a blast. When my wife and I came down, I think over the next 3 months, we like took a boat out like 10 times.
Oh, it's so
in
great.
3 months. We were just like, anytime we had a day, we're like, yeah, fuck it. Let's do a boat.
Dude, I brought this student. He was in like one of my like top programs. So I told him like, yo, to come down to he made a ton of money too. This new program I'm launching. I told him to come down. He's 18. This guy's never left his hometown in Ohio. Yo, he comes down and I spent like 13 grand that day. I planned the craziest day, party at my house to two boats pull up. We take the two boats,
like
jet skis. Oh, it was crazy. This guy on the boat is perplexed. He's not drinking, obviously he's under 21. This guy's 18. The guy's like in outer space. He's telling me, he's like, bro, do you do this every day? He's just like looking around, like going nuts. And I said, like, it's crazy. He's seeing all this at 18. And I remember the same thing. Everyone's first boat in Miami, like that energy it's contagious.
Oh yeah. There really is nothing like it.
Nothing.
And when you say like, before I came here, I had a lot of doubt of this, like, oh, it's so inspiring. Like you see the affluence, you see this and that. To me, a lot of it seems very disingenuous, but I think the lifestyle is the one thing that like really actually does inspire me. Like you're down here and you just get to like spend time in a paradise tropical environment, surrounded by all of the luxuries that you could want.
Everything.
Great food, great drink, great company, the boats, all of that. It's just like that really is that goal. For me, I've never really been a super material driven person. Like to me, if I have a nice car, that's good. I don't need a supercar. If I have a nice house, that's good. I don't need a mega mansion. Like I've always felt like I wouldn't settle for bad, but I don't need excellent. But the lifestyle, that is the one thing where it's like to be able to travel how you please, to be able to go where you want with the people that you want on your own clock, like that is irreplaceable. I know that's one thing that you have always like have been honestly like an inspiring person for me to look at. I mean, the way that you travel and with the size of the group that you can bring and the team and the friends, like all this, it's a very cool thing. I know John and I were actually speculating on the drive over here. We were wondering, and you said this off camera, you were like, the money that we make mounts, the expenses mount alongside of it. What are you spending in terms of like assistants, staff, travel, infrastructure?
Do you have like a CPA that's like
I know all these numbers. I mean, I could tell you literally, funny enough, the last like 12 months we went so hard on this, I was borderline about to pull up a spreadsheet. But I mean, my personal fixed expenses right now is like 35, 40 a month. And that's bare minimum. Like I could not leave my house.
Is that rent included too? Or?
Yeah. I mean, that's like the main things there is like cars, boat now, jet skis. I have a maid come every day. I have this great meal prep, heavy, like fucking little gem. Get on meal prep. This meal prep shit's been insane. And also it's like factually way cheaper than like anything else and way less time. But yeah, 35, 40 a month and like fixed. It's the team and the companies that get a lot more, but that's variated roughly like I'd say 150K in fixed payroll between the companies now. The majority owned businesses, that's like, I have to do those payrolls. And then in variable stuff, another like 200, 300, 400K a month. But that's like sales reps, leadership. A lot of them are on like performance-based pay. That's pretty much it. I don't spend as much money as people think. Like so the jets is expensive here and there.
The Vegas trip.
Yeah.
What was the receipts on that?
Oh, dude. Well, I will say my one-offs that get really expensive is the one-off trips. Like when I did Mykonos, I think I spent like 40 grand in a week. I'm also as crazy as people think. I'm like pretty like I think money conscious. I'm also like it's all relative. Like you said that really well earlier. But I don't like spending a lot of money. I think spending money is extremely counterintuitive to like making money. It's actually factually the opposite of it.
The antithesis, yes.
Yeah. So it just, you have to realize that spending money is cool, but like the point of this whole life is not to have to make money to then spend it to have to make it again. It's to make money to not have to work. And I think that's the big like turning point I had like a year and a half, 2 years ago. I was in that mindset of like, if I made $1 million, I'd be like, what will I buy with this million net? Instead of like, how can I make this million net, pay me 80K a year for the rest of my life? And then if I can live off that 80K, I never have to work again, you know? So that's where I'm at now. Is like, I know once I have 20 million stacked in investments, if I make 10% a year off that, that's $2 million a year. I literally will never have to work again. Like that's my new North Star over the last year and a half. But yeah, I mean, the Vegas trip, the jet alone, I took a jet. Just there, that was like 55K. The gambling, I can gamble hard and slow.
Oh, you fire?
Yeah, but nothing crazy. I have my limits, like 10K a day. I won't go past that. That Vegas trip with my team in February was very expensive because I brought them all out. We had like a 6,000 a night hotel room. It was fun. But what I will say is this. I think that you need to figure out your percentage of your monthly net you're willing to spend. And the biggest thing I found that brings so much, it brings so much comfort. And for me, it's just very nice is I'm very proactive with like understanding my money, my numbers. I track everything really well. So I kind of will spend accordingly. I think like for me, my good number I like is if I know I'm putting away 50% of my net a month, I think that's beautiful. Yep. So I try to variate my expenses at this point with that. Obviously the 35 a month, I'm not moving, but if I do a month where I'm netting 120, I'm not going to spend as much. Then if I'll net 400, I might go and spend, 150, 200. Yeah. But I think I've gotten most of the juice out of spending money at this point. Yeah. Now, like the biggest thing I think I'd buy is watches, cars.
What are you doing after this podcast?
Yeah, I'm going to buy another watch. I like watches too. If you find a good watch dealer, watches are a great way to spend money because you don't get as like fucked off of it. Way better than traveling. Traveling's fun and all, but like the 2K a night room is like just as great as the 800 a night room, I promise. And the watches are nice because you buy these, you don't lose that much on them. Yeah. That's why I like even cars is like the more aggressive version of it. Like that McLaren cost me like 70K over the year. But yeah, man, I think spending is something that's so fun, but so counterintuitive. So I'm super aware of it now. And man, like your numbers need to be your baby. Now I have every morning, all my bank accounts, all my credit cards are sent to me in a spreadsheet. Like I'm all over my shit. I have like 5 people as we speak that are all on profit and cash analysis. Like all they're thinking of is like, how great is our profit, watching our cash, watching our spending, and they're on it. And like, I'm the fail safe. If they fuck up, I then step in. And then, yeah, man, that 20 million investments is like my new North Star. God willing, within like a year or two, I can get there.
How'd you delegate all that? Like, how do you get to a point where you like, is it just like a slow, like 2-year process, or were you just like, I'm going to lock in this year and just like figure out how to like make my day-to-day like a lot easier? And
I was thinking of gems, like fire gems I wanted to share. And I had 2. The other one's on marketing we can go into after or maybe later. But the first one with teams specifically, I think that's one of the like number one things I have down really well. It's like, hey, Jacob, what are you good at? You can like help people with and like provide value to anyone watching. Is with team. I at this point now we have like 130 people that are like fully getting paid by us every 2 weeks. They're full time with us. And technically they're contractors still. I'm working on that. Any government agency, I'm fixing it. Don't worry. But for the most part, any sales rep will stay contractor. It's really the non-sales reps who get paid by us. I'm pushing on W-2 now. But nonetheless, 130, 140 people, 70 of them or so are sales reps on like majority owned companies. And then we've placed a ton more on any company we're partnered with. But for me with people, I think that finding people who you like can buoy up and become friends with, that you genuinely like, they share values with you, and then you can share a vision with. Like for you, if you find a guy who's like so motivated, he just doesn't know what to do, and he can stomach making 20K a month, and you're making 200, and he's really good at sales, like that's a grade A 10 out of 10 sales rep, maybe sales leader for you that you can win with, and they're never envious. They never want 30% of the business. So for me, I think I got really good at building those relationships. And then I just slowly think, who's the person that I need? Where is it? 6 months ago, my most recent like key hire was a CBO, I call it, a chief business officer, where I brought him in to make these older and more advanced decisions I knew I was like too young for. So he's 32. And it was just stuff like, how do we want to do like quarterly tax planning? Should we put people on W-2 and spend the extra 12% or take the risk? How much should we keep money in cash accounts versus investment accounts? Shit like that. Spending we have this in-person blitz right now. My whole team's in Fort Lauderdale. Sorry, my whole like core exec team for the most part, kind of like mid-level sales managers and stuff. And it's like I would go and spend 30 grand in the week, but he's the one who's like, I literally know I'm bad at that stuff, so I'm like, yo, you take over that, so we don't spend an extra 20 grand. We don't need to. So I think with key hires, just thinking who you need. The book Who Not How was really powerful for me to think like, instead of how can I fix the problems in my life and business, who can help me fix it? Yep. So, my assistant helps a lot. I have a really good accounting team that isn't just like does your QuickBooks for you, like literally can send me reports, can do anything. I can close my eyes. I love this concept. Close your eyes. What do you want? Who can help you do it? So with money stuff, like I can close my eyes and think of anything and they can do it. And man, making life easy. I'm a big believer that also the things you do should be easy. So that's my thing with hires, is just thinking where I'm struggling, who can help me fix it. And then at the end all be all, it should be easy. If it's not, I'll revisit what I did wrong.
Dude, that must be so nice. It's literally just me and him. Like we're running everything.
We are running a
team will change your guys'
multi-million-dollar a
life,
year
dude.
business with the two of us. We do our own sales, we do our own fulfillment, we do our own marketing, we run our own ads, we do it like everything.
There's something beautiful though to that. I was talking to my team yesterday. The people not running any paid ads, that I'll never like understand, and I'll always tell them it's a mistake because you could just do it better and continue doing organic with paid. But the trim and very lean team isn't necessarily a bad thing, I think. No. Especially if you see it. But you know, I'll always say I have one guy who loves taking his sales calls. This is a client we're partnered with. We have equity in his business, and he sells a service product. He takes all the sales calls. He does $200K a month. But I just explained to him, like, you can continue doing it, but if you figure out a world where you're even getting sales reps 50% as good as you might drop to, let's say, $100K a month for a bit, but that's the only way you're going to get this to 600, 700, 800K a month. And I just also tell him, like, what's your vision with it? Maybe it's something you could do in 2 years, stack $3 million first and do it later. But it's very taboo. And I've also I fully have lost, you know, lots of money, singular months. Yeah. And it's sometimes because the team gets too large. I had a really tough period in Q1 of 2024 because the team got so big. It was similar size to now, but it was all with one company for the most part, which was way hard. The biggest single company I have now is technically probably JL Growth, which is where we're growing businesses, like a growth partnership company, but it's a lot of sales reps. The big companies is hard. There's cons to the pros for sure. And I always say that, man. It's been a crazy journey, but I've had tough quarters. Cash flow quarters negative $1 million for sure.
Jeez.
I want you to talk about our offer, because the reason why we're still taking the sales calls is because we're not selling an info offer. We're doing kind of like a franchise.
It's more of a partnership model.
Yeah.
Is this with the cleaning?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
we used to sling.
I like
info.
this model.
And so we were slinging info for a while, and we were just selling here's 200 video modules, here's a call a week, and figure it out. And we really just found our success rate dipped. It was very high in the beginning, and then we brought in third-party fulfillment, we brought in coaches, we brought in sales reps, and we systemized the whole system or systemized the whole business. And we were like, well, we're just business owners now. And then all of a sudden we were making less money, and we had less successful students, and we had less. And a big part of that was our oversight was lacking.
Yeah. It's an inherently hard business. People think coaching your courses is easy. It's not. I think what actually ends up happening is people just start violating a lot of laws, especially FTC compliance laws. And then they just are lying to people. You're going to make $20K a month, just pay me. And it's you're front loading a ton of work. Someone pays you upfront for a year of value. It's a flawed business model for most people, I found.
Well, and so we really found the same thing. We're these people pay up front. We're not really vested in their success. And so we actually scrapped the whole model. We basically shut down for a month. And then we went into a pseudo franchising model, where instead of us actually franchising, because that's just a legal ginormous undertaking, we said, let's go and take a done for you model where we can actually build the business for you. We'll do all the legal setup, all the insurance setup, all the liability, de-risking the business, then set up the front end, back end, ads, website, socials, everything, and provide you with a training infrastructure so that you know how to run it. Then you basically become our manager for that location.
I love it. And you guys take a percent as well?
And we own a percentage of the equity.
So sick.
10K up front, 5% rev share.
So we own 5% revenue of every one of the companies. We take 10K up front as the full setup and training and consulting fee. And for our partners, 90% of them already have good income. They're already in a good financial situation. Now this is a way for them to slowly transition out of a W-2 into a business that they own. It's a way for them to add cash flow, working 10, 15 extra hours a week. And they don't have to take on any of the burden of trying to figure it out in the beginning, or just buying information and then hashing out the details. It's no, we'll do it all for you. Make sure you know what you're doing. And then ultimately our goal selfishly is
franchising.
We are, exactly. And we call it a licensing model instead of franchising, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, better
it's their branding though. It's not it's the same company.
And what I love about that too is it's not flawed. What came to my mind too is the opposite of that. That makes so much sense. And I think that's the definition of the info issue right now, which is a lot of these info product companies don't make sense. My favorite was the done for you Amazon stuff. I did 2 done for you e-com stores because I was just will it be free money? And it was. posted about it. 2 people just paid me $30K. And I'm like, it is such a flawed product. I refunded both of them. This is like 3 years ago. And these big e-com or Amazon automation people, it's a flawed model. Like they're charging 50 or 100K. They're like, yeah, you're going to make 30K a month, but it's like, why don't you just do it yourself?
Yeah.
And then that's why you're seeing those guys are getting fucking nailed by the FTC. I know 2 that already got screwed, and because the FTC sees it. And I used to be so fearful of the FTC, and I just want to say too, if for anyone out there you're running marketing, you're running stuff, and you don't feel like you're LEM, that core value is so big for us, legal, ethical, moral, fix it. I love that you guys fixed it. I did something similar like 4 months ago where I had an issue like that, and I addressed it. You address it and you fix it, and it feels so good.
It does, and we can genuinely. I mean, we now, the only limitation we have right now is because we do all the fulfillment ourselves.
Scaling. What are you guys at right now, month to month?
We're going to do probably 130 this month, right? And that's like the only problem we have is we have to turn people away now because they need so many hours of our time every week, and we really don't want to put them with somebody who's not an industry expert.
And like the reason why we want to not scale now is because like, bro, like if we have 200 of these locations that are genuinely making like $10,000 a month in revenue, which is minimal.
Super, like that's in 3 months we could hit there.
What's the trailing 130 last month? What's the trailing 12 month in revenue?
Oh, much. I mean, I would say trailing probably less, because we really had this weird sell off where we couldn't figure out fulfillment.
So this change to licensing happened recently.
Like 3 months ago.
Is phenomenal.
Yeah,
3 months
I
ago.
think you guys should do a non-licensing version where you guys do a version where it's you just give them the info on how to do it for the people who are like less qualified or have less money.
Yeah, 4K.
Yeah.
And we have that offer that we just don't publicly market it. It's more so like we get on with you, we talk, you can't do it.
In ads?
We
$250 a day.
Oh my
and bro, like we're just getting
nothing.
The lead.
Nothing.
Dude, the quality of leads that we're
tingling.
getting. It's crazy.
We actually, I think our ROAS for the first
for this month.
We've run. We've literally spent.
We can't fulfill it.
We can't fulfill it, right? So our problem right now is we've actually probably spent $3,000 on ads in June because we had them off for the first week. So we've spent $3K, $300 a day for 10 days.
Well, is there anyone helping us with fulfillment?
That's what we're trying to find out right now.
You guys got to go to. I would go literally to. Like get a friggin' Huracan, do a sign. We need our admin of fulfillment. We're gonna pay you $10,000 a month if you're great.
Well, we have students where we might just have them like,
and that's what we're thinking. Maybe from within,
and bring them in person too. I think one thing that's so powerful, I wish I did sooner, is now we're going way heavier in person. I'm not forcing it, but it's more like optional for the people who want to be in person. You'll see the people who gravitate with you. Most of our team, I've the people who wouldn't do it, I've already terminated over the last 2 years. You'll feel it. Like, yo, I'm gonna do a team trip. Who wants to come to Miami? It's all free. Like the people who are like, no, I'm gonna stay in Colorado. Goodbye. Yeah. And then like you two, like you guys want to work together. You guys are like, boys, you're running this up. You guys go work together in person for 2-4 weeks on this shit. It like things go way faster. Yeah. I wish I did that too with my marketing agency with Kyle in the past. I think it's because like I liked it, but I was just too overwhelmed. That 2022 year for me, I was running an e-commerce store, a marketing agency, and social media /info. I was just too overwhelmed, and I was doing everything I feel like half-ass. Hence why I sold out of the marketing agency. But man, you guys have a gold mine.
Our ROAS this month is like 40x,
dude.
Yeah, we've probably brought in. Yeah, we've done over 100K on 3K of ad spend.
Dude, you guys got to.
But like what I was saying before is like if we have 200 locations that are doing 10K a month on average,
you guys got to scale. We'll get this in the Stripe.
Yeah.
No, I know.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
But like if we have all these locations crushing, bro, like we can just make like an extra like 50, 100K a month and just passive income from the residuals from the rev share.
The model's so
that's the other thing.
It's 5% revenue. It's 5% revenue share. If we have a system where we're just having these guys just hammer commercial and they're locking in these $35,000 contracts, $50,000 contracts, like bro, like.
No, the infrastructure is sound. All we need to do is build the system to scale, and we only started this 3 months ago.
And this is like a PE play. Like this is why we switched them off.
Yeah. 200 businesses, 5% completely non-contingent, fully vested. It's already ours. So that 5%, if the average business does 10K, it means we get $500 a month from 200 businesses. I mean,
no, I love this. This is what you guys are doing here is very similar to what we're doing with this jail growth company, and it's sick,
dude.
We were talking to Kishan.
You guys shouldn't even do any more you guys shouldn't even do any more hows. Like, how do we do this? How do we do that? We need to do this. We need to do that. It should all be who's. Like, especially right now, if your net's like what, 70, 80%.
Yeah.
Dude, that's bad. I have a huge red flag. I've said to a lot of business owners, if your net's that high, it's like guaranteed a problem that you're not spending enough. Because our net's 30%, but like we netted, 600 a few months ago in a single month.
Yeah.
So I'd way rather be at 20, 30% net. You guys can be hands off. And also, a really big value point from that Who Not How book, I think you guys will like is, 80% of ideas from entrepreneurs, they did a survey on it in this book. 80% of innovating ideas, I think it was 84%. Yeah. 84% of innovating ideas happened outside of the workplace. So it happens when you're not working, you have that free time. Yeah. So you two getting that free time is so huge. Like I could go fuck off for like 4 months. The team will fully run everything. And I think that lets me just be free and mess with what I want to mess with. But yeah.
I forget on the high leverage.
I want to say this real quick. I forget who it was. You might have like talked about it on a podcast, but there was this random guy. He would every year go on vacation for a month and not like be involved whatsoever with the business. And then after he'd come back from that vacation, he'd look and he'd be like, like what went wrong? Like
Bill Gates.
That was
Bill Gates. Yeah, Bill Gates does that. He goes with books. And he would go and fully disconnect for a month every year. I think he still does it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's very interesting.
He'll come back. He's like, now we got to like fix this problem. Like that's how he would fix his problems every year.
Because that's the thing is like, we get so distracted too, especially when you get comfortable. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. I always look at comfort. You should have a comfort alarm based on your income and cash on hand, active income and cash on hand, and or passive income. All three. Those are the 3 big money markers I found. But active income and cash on hand, those 2 big ones, like look at your last 10 years. And if you're at your peaks, like that's your comfort alarm. I'm definitely comfortable. And I think the best way getting out of that, like lock yourself in and full dopamine reset where all your dopamine will come from work. Mm-hmm. And then, man, you're just going to you're going to be a monster. Because right now you guys have so much power and safety. This is when your business just like fucking like 2 big bear claws just grabs the market and pulls it in, Yeah. I love it.
I think that is where we're finding. I was DMing with someone, a guy who's growth operator type person, and he was DMing me and he was like, dude, because I posted on my story, right now we take 10 partners a month, right? In June, we hit 10 partners on the 8th. So then we were like, no new clients for the next 22 days. We're literally, we can't take on more clients.
Wow.
And he's like, why are you only taking 10 clients? I'm like, well, each client takes 4 hours a week of my time. So that's 80 hours. That's 40 hours for each of us. That's it. Like I can't do more than that and still run the company and still do the high leverage stuff like being here or, making other content or ads, things like that.
And then he's got his home service businesses too.
Yeah. And I still own 3 home service businesses myself that, that net another 20K
you guys have
a
good
month.
problems.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting is sometimes I found with issues like this, we had a similar thing in one of my majority owned businesses called 637 Group. We started recently. That did 0 to $1 million fast. And our average month there already is like $250,000 a month. We're about to launch this.
That's your sales team, right?
Yeah. So that's our hiring funnel. I mean, that's some crazy sauce, but that's some sauce. I'll give to you guys off camera or give to someone if they pay me. But long story short, crazy cool business, some crazy complexities. But a specific issue in it was so simple. It was just like, long story short, it was just simple problems, almost the same spot you guys are in. It's like a simple issue of just like, the fulfillment you guys understand, you can systemize it and give it to a fulfillment rep, but it's all these unique singular moving parts that it's just complicated due to the nature of all the different moving parts to it. But man, you guys tackling it, especially, what I love about it is this stuff like you don't need to do. Yeah. But the stuff that you don't need to do that like, it's just like you guys get this done. I'm even curious. Like I'm going to text you in a month and see where you guys are at with that. But man, green flag, green flag, green flag. It sounds like you guys have a sick business.
Yeah,
our whole thing is the team situation, kind of like what you mastered.
Yeah.
Like
teams and net. Your guys' net's what, 70%? You'll net $1 million this year, but 10 million net, it's not going to be with 80%.
No, but even if it's with 20%, we make twice as much money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing too, is people love glamorizing. This profit talk is coming up more. I remember seeing a video from Iman I liked where he started talking a lot about profit. I loved that. But even past like profit margin doesn't even matter. What matters is your net. Yep. And obviously profit margin is a variable to think of, but if I have $1 million profit, I have $1 million profit. And that is really all that matters. The revenue being glamified is like, I think one of the most damaging things that's damaging a lot of people's businesses, like 18 to 25-year-olds, especially when you're younger, you learn it the hard way, where like the revenue doesn't matter. I heard from Luca Netz on a call with me one time, it's just a liability.
Yeah.
Revenue's a liability without profit.
Yeah. And that's what we say in our messaging for like new clients. We're just like, if you like input equals output, if you show up every single day, use our systems that we just give to you, and then you do the 90-day ramp period training, whatever, you will net 100K in 12 months with this business.
Fuck yeah.
And then
so cool. It came from this initially. I remember I saw you marketing this, and now it's gone to this licensing model. I think there's a cool world, but it seems like client acquisition isn't an issue at all, huh?
No.
Wow.
No,
I mean,
it's fulfillment, bro.
You guys should raise the price though. So
we have every month.
It was 6K a month ago. Now it's 10.
Yeah.
We want to get it to 15. We think 15 would be like where we.
Yeah, I think I think you can't go too expensive, but dude, you can go pretty expensive. I used to sell like my first ever like high ticket product technically was my course. It was $300. Like I offer technically course coaching. I offer coaching now that's $80,000.
Yeah.
And the shit sells. You'd be surprised.
Like the Grant Cardone method.
Yeah, literally like
same. Yeah,
dude. Even Hormozy's team, crazy sauce. I've done some heavy deep dives into Hormozy and acquisition.com. These guys aren't necessarily even closing that many people. Their AOV is like fucking 35, 40 grand.
Yeah.
So it's like they might only close 15 people a week, but if it's at like a 50K a pop, they're good. They're making $750 a week. That company right now, just their consulting side, none of the portfolio shit that he preaches, the side he doesn't preach is doing like 50 million a year.
Wow.
Are you kind of replicating that with your new company?
Hormozy, he's gonna be an op.
An op. I love that.
Yeah.
We had
he's one of my motivators.
Yeah, we had Kishan on yesterday. We had Jay Singland on last week. We have Sanjay today. All you guys are like,
I love
doing
Sanjay.
like,
yeah, he's the guy.
funny,
he's
dude.
coming on in a few hours here later. But I think with your level of expertise, is it for you like you are just always now, where can I make like my next? And I hate to say this because it sounds negative. I don't mean it negatively. How can I leave my current friends to get to that next echelon? Like, how can I get to my friend group is 8-figure, my friend group is 9-figure, my friend group is 10-figure? Is that something that's like on the forefront of your mind, or you're more like, my friends are the people that I work with, we're building together? I've always heard this network is your net worth is your network. And
I care about habits more than money, I think. Like I'd rather friends that have good habits than friends that have good money. I've met really rich people that are degenerates. Like I'd way rather be around a broke version of them that had better habits than the rich version that didn't. I'm not really worried about paying for things. Most things I do. Definitely if I'm doing crazy trips and stuff, you don't want to be getting screwed. Like if you're with 5 guys, it should be split. I have this one buddy who like invited me on $300,000 yacht in Croatia last month.
Yeah.
So like that's pretty cool. 50K split, 6 guys. I didn't go. I was a little too busy. But with me, I don't think too hard of friends. I think it's very important when you're first starting. And I think it's also even more important if the people around you, you are like, if any ounce of you is like this person's negative, that's just easy cut. But I wouldn't define it just on money. I think it's money, it's habits, it's how their energy is, it's how they treat you, and all these other micro variables. Something I heard really powerful is like a friend being good or bad is like a bouquet of flowers. There's like 50 variables, 50 flowers in that bouquet that make up this bouquet. And then you have to decide, is this a bouquet I want or a bouquet I don't want? So I think that's how I view my friends is it's not just money. Look at all of my team members. I know people on my team who I'm fixing. I'm building them up because they're such degens. They'll spend all their money. I'm like, dude, like I want to see you with $1 million in your bank account. Like stop being such a degen. We're doing daily payouts to our sales team now. Like you can get paid every day. You close someone, you get paid next day. And this one guy said, I don't even want it because I'm going to spend the money daily. I'm like, dude. So I build these guys up. I'm really big right now more than ever. The last 6 months moving my guys in person. So remote to in-person is a very big difference. And it really made me realize how much I have to like the people on my team. I want these people to be my circle. I want to travel with these people. And I want to feel good with these people, feel great energy. So I think the biggest variable I look in with people isn't even money. It's how they treat me and how I feel they are as a human, their habits.
And do you feel like you can level up spending time around anyone? Like that's one thing that I've always been curious. A lot of people give off this vibe of like, I need to be surrounded by the person that I want to be.
I like alone. I do the best alone, yeah. Because I'm also big on that. Like I talk in God mode, I say. It's similar to monk mode. I created my own verbiage, which originated from Becker, Iron Mind, who I met, Alex. I really like Alex. I think that, there's people who will elevate my mindset and de-elevate my mindset. I prefer to be alone because like if I'm alone, I know I control all the input. And if I control all the input, I'm just going to make sure the input's good. I have like literally a do's and don'ts doc. So whenever I'm working at home and I'm dialed in, I literally go through my do's and don'ts and I just follow them like they're my fucking Bible. I do all the do's and I don't do any of the don'ts. And then my days are always perfect. And if they're not, I know why. I posted a story about this the other day. This is fucking great. You control having a good day. People think good days are a reactive thing. They're not. They're a proactive thing. And vice versa, a bad day is a proactive thing too. To have a bad day, you have to plan it. Like having that bad friend over, is going to come and distract you. And then when he says he's going to pour a drink, you having a drink with him. Like it's so easy to negate that. And that's why I like being alone. I say, put on your shield.
I remember your sicko days where you'd like wake up at 3 a.m. and just fucking.
That was 23. I almost went crypto got me, like I lost 600K in crypto. And I dialed in.
Yeah.
Dude, I just lost 600K in crypto in December. Fuck. Now we switched the offer. It's like it's go time.
You needed to lock in.
Crypto's so cyclical.
In like a month, bro.
Dude, there many a good man has sat in that chair and has lost hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars.
I know a guy who's like pretty notable in Miami. I won't go too deep on it because I don't even want to expose anything, but crypto like ruined his life.
Recently or?
Yeah, over the last like 12 months. I don't want to give too much detail, but like this guy was good. He was set. And, multi 7 figures and just killed.
Shit.
Yeah, everyone thinks they have an edge on the house and you just don't. I mean, it's gambling. Crypto is gambling. And you can, at some point, have an edge. Maybe, you do know the person launching it, whatever. It's
just too scary, dude. I do believe in it long term. I think where people have fucked up, I fucked up, is I put too much of my cash in it. I had like 70% of my money in it. Full transparency, that was like mid 2023. Mid 2023, June, July 2023. I had 70% of my, probably $1 million liquid about, and I had 70% of it in like crypto. Of that, 70% of it in altcoins. I didn't even realize the fuck up of that. Yeah. And I just got killed so bad.
I remember you posted, you're like, I sold all my crypto because I just think about it way too much.
Dude, it was fucking me up, dude. I seeing it was just, it negated like the feeling of working. Like, it was so defeating to work for 10, 20K in a day, which is phenomenal profit, and then get wiped in crypto. I think the big thing people don't realize is that when you have that much money in any investment account, you're going to see swings that are so cyclical, but it's just part of the game, and you almost have to like desensitize yourself to it. I never look at revenue or any investment accounts ever in the daytime anymore. I'll only do it at night because I found that if I do it in the day, it distracts me, and like those daily fluctuations are so irrelevant.
Yeah, we had a very similar conversation with this, almost like an internal intervention. 4 months ago, even slightly less, we were finding like we were getting so derailed from the things that just had to be done, the tasks, the work, getting derailed by, oh, dude, this coin might drop today. Oh, dude, we got to watch this. Oh, there's this market sentiment, this news. That derails you from the work.
You guys should honestly leave Miami, I think. Do you live in Brickell?
I'm moving to the Mint, which is like it's like downtown.
Okay,
it's downtown. Yeah.
I would get out of like for me, I think you guys already hit now. You like hit the home run. Now just like you just got to run the bases. I know. And just don't get distracted because that's
we're working on that right now. He's moving into my building.
He's probably gonna leave.
I'm looking at going to like maybe Coconut Grove or Lodi or somewhere.
You should get a house and over there, and then you guys should work from the house together and build a team out of the house. If I could reset right now, back when I was 2-3 people, I'd bring everyone in house. I'd get a sick crib. I'd spend a decent amount of money on it. Like I'd probably spend I'd think of what's the lowest my profit will be over 12 months, and I'd spend like 30% of that just on the crib, crazy like crib/office, and then have people live near it. And or if they're really high up execs, maybe live in the crib.
Yeah. Well, his thing is, dude, 24/7. He's married. Like that's.
Oh yeah.
That's the.
That is the only. That's our
you
only
need your
caveat.
You need your own living place.
Yeah.
But still, that dude, working in person with your team. That's why I like the idea of literally meet them in person and work with them in person. It's a different vibe.
I know.
Like I'd say for every remote person, an in-person person is 4 times as efficient and powerful with you if they're with you and in person.
They're just straight up being held accountable too, because like you're with them. And it's like, hey, like
I'm getting to like you can get people on computer tracking softwares. We did this. We found that the in-person sales rep is working 4 times as much than our remote sales rep per day.
Wow.
Like that's like a tracked thing we saw from computer monitoring that they opted into, which was a fucking mind-blowing stat. That one sales rep can push 4 times the output as a remote one.
I mean, that office, $17K a month, like the ROI is there.
Yeah. I would do the house if we were smaller. So if we were 5, 10, 15 people, I would do a house, but I'm going to bring like 40 people into it. So we just need the fucking office. We're also going to start doing these in-person workshops pretty much every 2-3 weeks.
You got to get him speaking at some of your events.
We could work something out.
Would love to.
He's a beast.
Would love to. I think that'd be
this business you guys have is sick.
It is. And
right now,
it
nothing. I
works.
wouldn't even do the fucking podcast, dude. I'd fucking you.
Well, it's just like you didn't know what we were doing. I mean, you kind of had an idea of like what we were doing. Like this whole podcast. Is
you
just
guys
a network
have
of
a
people.
10 million a year business, like what's the word? Locked in. Like,
Yeah.
you're already on that runway. But the fucked up thing is that you guys could fuck it up.
I know. We know that. We know
I want
that.
to see it rip.
You know, and honestly, to get even just one more step further down the line, just to get you even a little more excited, the beautiful thing about our model is that right now it's home cleaning. This model is applicable to a dozen different home service industries. We could take this and start building $5 million a year roofing companies, plumbing companies, maintenance companies, handyman, gutters, windows, pressure washing. I mean, lighting installation, security camera install, like any home service.
You guys got to decide a valuation and give me an offer.
Hey, you know what? Honestly, where we're at right now, we're just like you said, we're just really excited. We launched this program 3 months ago. We have 30 businesses that we already own equity in. We've got another 10 people that are waiting in line to get started, like people that want it. John got off a call yesterday with someone who was like, Can I just give you like 120K and you guys just build one for me?
Holy shit.
Bro, fucking the cost per lead for that guy was like $50.
Yeah, we paid. That was an ad. One time ad scrolled around on my page. Got on the call and he's like, "Can I give you 120K and you guys just do it for me?"
Oh my gosh. I like borderline don't even want to go deeper on the video. You guys can't give them all this information.
Yeah, we'll stop. We'll keep it there. But I think one more point back to the crypto conversation we were having. We also then realized it really does desensitize you to money and to work, not only on the side of like, oh, I made 20K, but my portfolio lost 20K. On the flip side, it was like we would grind. We'd be locked in grinding for 2 weeks. We'd have a good 2 weeks. Maybe we make 40K profit in those 2 weeks. We take home 20 each. Great. Oh, and then our buddy just buys a five grand of this poop coin, and now he makes 100K, 200K. In half the time.
That's why you need your shield.
Work.
You need your shield. Yeah. Like I would even I've gone in, I've gone in the extremes of deleting Instagram. I had my assistant hide everyone's posts and stories. So even if I did go on, everyone's posts and stories were hidden. I reverted that when I kind of was getting back into branding and IG. But even that's like a thing I'm instantly thinking now, why haven't I turned that back on? Mm-hmm. These little things, man, these micro optimizations in your day. One really cool thing I think you should do, I've done, anyone watching could do, just bring a notepad and pen with you throughout your whole day, everything you're doing, anything that distracts you from your core goal that day, write down.
Wow.
And then end of day, like literally remove it. Like even if your fucking office is a desk and like a black and white computer with like one tab, and then all your apps, if you try to go to other apps, are like in a tab. I mean, blocking YouTube, blocking Twitter, these little things, like just they hyper optimize you. And that's what I've gotten so big on. The last year, I've honestly gotten big on hyper optimizing my team over me. I've like built, like my top execs now are fucking good. And I've dialed these fucking humans in so much. I like bet on them. Like some of them are more powerful than I am for my company, where I just have to work through them at this point. But man, I'm excited for that business. You guys got it sick.
Dude. I think Hormozy said something really similar to a similar piece of advice, something I've been thinking about trying out for forever. And I need to just finally do it. And he was like, your entire day, have a calendar with 15-minute blocks, for every hour. And every 15 minutes, write down what you did. Write down what you actually did for that 15 minutes. Yeah. And he's like, oh, you're going to say, oh, it's a waste of time. It's going to cost you 10 minutes over the whole day. But you're going to see how many 15-minute blocks were scrolling, going to the bathroom, opening the fridge, doing nothing. Yeah. Like so much of your time that you say, oh, I'm productive all day. I don't have any more time in my day. And it's false productivity.
Daryl, I call it a power grid. Sam Ovens, I think, was the first to publicize it, where he has a Google Sheet for it. It's really cool. On top of even pushing in 15-minute chunks, evaluating all your times too. So like, there's certain tasks that are worth it you have to do. There's certain that aren't. Like cooking food's worth $10 an hour to cook it yourself. But you can evaluate all your time. What's up?
Factor, is that the company you use?
I use my girlfriend found it, Ideal Nutrition.
Are they based locally?
So sick. I don't know, honestly. Okay. But man, great food and so easy. Food was a big one for me. You know what I found even more so is that I would sometimes contemplate food. Like I'd be like, do I want food now? I'd forget it. And then an hour later, I'd think about it again. Now I've not only had the meal prep, but I also have my girlfriend at specific times. I'll tell her in the morning, like, yo, I want food now and now. And then just give it. And I'm pushing it like 9, 10, 11 hour days really easily. Yeah. But that power grid, that 15-minute chunk thing works so well.
Yeah, that is one thing that I think I have always lacked on is really just making the optimization before it's necessary. And a lot of people wait until the system breaks and then they're like, now I'll fix it.
You're getting distracted.
You can get there earlier.
You guys also, it sounds like you guys are you guys in your prime of this business?
I mean, we're this month will be like the second best month that it's ever had.
We had
So you guys comfort alarm. And you guys got to find like what I did at one point in my life too is I had all these lovely ideas I loved doing. And like, you want to do. You want to do the power grids. You want to eat well. I would put, I got an electronic note creation little device, $50 on Amazon. And then I'd put notes everywhere. Like on my desk, I'd put one note like 5 minutes early to every meeting to set that culture on my team.
Yeah.
Another note like pick lunch times twice a day. Another note like never go on my phone. I'd put my phone in weird places like the top of a shelf or a microwave. I wouldn't turn it on. But just to remind myself, if I go back to it, I'm not taking it and sitting on the couch. I would just take it, do what I have to do, and then close it again. And man, there's like micro optimizations. Find an accountability method for you, not even someone else, or even you guys are blessed actually, your partners. You guys can be accountability partners for each other. Yeah. And dude, I mean, that will speed you up so much. For me, the do's and don'ts is a great way I do it. I have a Google Doc sequence. I call it my daily checks, my SODs, where I start my circuit every day and I end my circuit in the PM. And in my start circuit, I have my do's and don'ts, all the do's, all the don'ts. And I do it really religiously. And then I also have a notepad I read every day because I want to set my energy every morning. So I read through this very specific, cultivated, and structured word sequence where it reminds me of my mission, what I'm doing, all my reminders, because it's a lot. Like even we've talked about 6 optimizations today. The average person hears the 6. They might remember 1 over the next week. And then there's probably a 50% chance they do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
not even.
Yeah. Like the same way in business, it being hard, becoming a beast is hard.
Oh, yeah.
But when we focus it, like the biggest advantage I found that has always been for me, I think it's the same for you guys. Our moats aren't even yet our businesses. Our moats, our advantages aren't our team. It's not even cash. Our moats are ourselves. So making yourself the most powerful advantage you have is like, it's a really easy one to do. And it's something that many don't. And then once cash is the second moat, 5, 10, 20 mil in the bank, you get powerful.
Is that your number, 20 mil?
Right now for me, I think 20 mil is when I'll take a hiatus. Yeah. I think I'm going to go like, I really am like, I want to retire. I want to mini retire. I'm not preaching. I want to work every day like this. It's not fun. I don't enjoy it. I do it because I enjoy where I will be.
Yep.
And 20 mil, I'll fuck off somewhere. I think I'll just literally, I might even buy like a $1 million, $2 million boat and just sail through all the way from here, like down to like fucking like South America or some shit.
So you don't want a jet?
I was about to buy a jet. I really got close. I was going to buy a Vision jet. I was like, loan approval would have been fine. I was going to put like 400K or 500K down. I was about to get my pilot's license to fly it. Because the big thing, like, I wasn't doing it for marketing. Like a good part of it was marketing. I love this FX Alex G guy. I love this guy. He
just bought a jet.
Yeah, he's down to blow the cash. I texted him, congrats. I wouldn't blow because one of the biggest maintenance expenses would be the pilot. Needing 1 or 2 pilots is like 300-400K a year. So it gets a lot cheaper if you're your own pilot. Yeah. But man, funny enough, I got a little worried being my own pilot. One of my night flights, I was flying alone at night and I just got like nervous. And I'm like, fuck, what if I'm over like the ocean and I get nervous and pass out? So that like gave me a weird, I'm not really an anxious person, but I got a little anxious.
You got a nutsack to do that, bro.
Dude, I like it. It's fun. One of these days soon. Well, I go on jets a lot now. We'll do something soon. Maybe a NASA trip.
Dude, that sounds, I mean, I think a mentor of mine, and we've talked about this a couple episodes, said there's really like kind of 3 levels you need to look at. And I am actually very surprised to hear that you have a very similar view to me. And I've been saying this to John for forever. I'm like, I have a number, right? If I hit that number, I can make this amount passively, and then I can live off of that, and I can enjoy my life. My number is lower than yours, probably closer to 10 than it is to 20, but I just don't have.
It'll go to 20.
He's got to raise that.
It'll go to 20. What I found too,
it will.
I know when it hits, I think I'll probably like plan to take a year off. I'd probably take like 2 months off, and then end up wanting to do something new.
For sure.
Yeah.
But it's by your own volition.
Exactly.
Because you're like, I've done it now at this point. Yeah. And then that'll be determined
it's just a fun goal too. Like I hope, and all 3 of us think we're on the same page, but even anyone watching, I think it's not normalized enough to have that like, here's my investment goal. here's what I want to save from all this work.
Yeah.
Like right now, people's goal is to make 400K and then go buy a fucking Urus on a 15% APY fucking loan and rent an apartment and deplete their fucking bank account in the first downturn. Like, I think it's fun and it's sexy, but I really hope, and it's cool, like people we meet that are young, we could like fucking help them not make that fuck up.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have that when I was 18. And I always say it's one of my biggest mistakes that I didn't have a rich coach when I was 18, 19, 20, 21. If I did, Luca Netz was actually, and Becker. Those two were the two that kind of saved me. Luca really saved me.
Luca like just finds money, bro.
Yeah, well, he's with crypto now. He got in crypto in a great time. He's like the guys who doesn't get fucked in crypto. He's all in on it. Yeah, one of his moats is cash. Like when crypto popped up for us, you know, we were all, for the sake of it, we were all under 8 figures in cash. He wasn't. So when crypto popped up for him, like if you had 8 figures 4 years ago when crypto popped up and like went all in, dude, he's probably made like I'd assume he's sitting on at least like 100 mil.
Bro, plus he bought Pudgies.
With Pudgy, it's
for
like
pennies
crazy.
on the dollars. Obviously,
he told me, bro, on a call, like I gave him so much info on my business like a year and a half ago. I did like a lot of coaching with him. We almost fought, funny enough, physically at a mastermind. He thought I was doing some shit I wasn't. Long story short, like he was the one that was chosen that he was gonna fucking just punch me. And I was 19.
Yeah.
And I love him for it. We're totally cool now, no hard feelings. But long story short, the day ended. I proved my innocence, and he like buoyed me up a bit. And we were just talking, and he's like, "Let's do a dinner." And then over the years to come, he spoke at one of my events, and over the years to come, we spoke a lot. And he really helped me in terms of understanding like we're doing this to make money. We're not doing this to spend it. And I think that's a big lesson for anyone listening.
Damn.
I love that. It is how I've always viewed it, and I sometimes feel that I'm alone in that. So it is nice to hear, especially among young people.
No one talks about it.
No, and there's so many people glorifying, like, I mean, I can't even tell you how many videos I get on my feed or, you know, people, and they're like, when you're young, you should make $1 million and you should spend it all because, then you teach yourself that money's not scarce and money. Like,
I saw one, if you have 100K, if you have 100K to your name, should you buy a watch? And the guy said to spend all of the 100 on a watch. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, like who's watching that? And they're like, all right, cool. Like I just got my.
I understand the abundance mindset. And I also see there are pros to it. Totally. You make $1 million, you spend it, you're going to feel like a beast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But in 2 years, if God forbid things don't go great for you, which everyone will go through in their life, there has to be downturns for there to be uptrends. And if you only have uptrends, you just got extremely lucky. And when that does, look at Musk, look at Bezos, look at all these. Bezos didn't make money for 17 years.
Yeah.
He had to convince his investors. There's letters you could read from Bezos. He's convincing the investors that what they're doing is just really difficult and it's going to be worth it, which it was. Like that's a tough period to be in. And Musk, Tesla almost went out of business. I think it was SpaceX that saved it or vice versa. And man, it's super nice to have that safety cushion. My grandma always said, my grandma was very out of the loop with my money, but she like saw me grow up and she saw me make a lot. Brought her in my first Lambo, my second Lambo. And she always said, make sure you always have your knepelech. She always told me like 10, 20 grand. She had no idea how much money I had. But she's like, have 10K knepelech, like safety. It's Jewish thing. She's like, have 10K in safety at any point. And I'm like, don't worry, I have 10K in safety. Yeah. It's pretty cool. One time I fucked with my mom. I wired like 500K into one of our accounts. I didn't keep it there. I kept it there for like a day just to fuck with her.
Holy shit.
And wired it out, yeah. She's super chill.
I think Buffett became a millionaire when he was like 44 or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, he played the slow and guarantee. That's also another great
millionaire, bro. Not even
another great example of like why what we're saying is it makes so much sense. Like if the goal of us making money is to have it and live off of it, then investing it will make it so much easier. Like God willing, we're all living till probably 90, 95 average age we'll go to with how things are. Shout out to NAD. You guys got to get on that.
Yeah.
But I think that Buffett example is such a great story. He didn't do anything exceptional other than patience and consistent money management. It's just so cool.
It is. And there is no path to becoming wealthy. There is a multitude of paths to not be wealthy, overspending, doing things that are immoral or unethical that'll eventually come back and get you,
100%.
Treating people like shit, those are ways where you are almost guaranteed to eventually not be wealthy.
And I love that inverse outlook. Like those are the things you shouldn't do.
Yes. And other than that, if you can just focus on increasing your income earning potential, on being around the right people in the right rooms, making decent financial decisions, like the rest of it, it'll work out over time.
Yeah.
It will. That's just,
you guys got a 10 million a year business in your hands.
Dude.
I think what'll be so sick too is you guys should document the shit out of this.
Bro.
We're trying.
The content.
No, you guys should literally like
dude.
just. Oh my god! I mean, you'd get more clients from it too. You guys should both pay a filmer. What he'll hire him full time, especially if you guys work together. 4K, 5K a month, every day, daily vlogs. Like I wish I did that. I didn't do it honestly because especially with me, my shit was a lot messier. But you guys have a sexy, good, makes sense business. I'd be careful how much you share though, because it's a lot of it.
We have like 5 info competitors that will probably just like implement.
Is anyone competing?
HSA.
Not in this way. There's no one that is doing what we're doing.
But they're gonna find out.
They're going to start for sure.
You know that combo of moats I said? I heard that from Sam Ovens. Like moats being a moat in ancient times was like the river around a castle, alligators and fires. And it keeps the competitors away, separates you. So I'm really big on that moat convo. Literally, I have it in my to-dos for later today. I do it every month. One of those good habits, also a way to keep things going is I have stuff in my calendar. Any repetitive tasks that are positive, I'll block and have a day for it sometimes. But I do my moat checks once a month, and I'm really big on that concept because over time, your moats is what's going to separate you, and it'll always even out. The person with the best moats, the best advantages, always wins. So the guys you'll see like that don't have the moats, a lot of the times they might beat you in the short term, but in the long run, the moats are everything. And the basis of a good moat is it's either long, takes a long time, costs a lot of money, or it's really difficult. Yeah. So I always say to my team, those are the things we do.
And honestly, that is the only way to differentiate yourself. Yeah. If what you do is easy and inexpensive and fast, shit, everyone is going to do it, and it's not going to be worth anything.
Exactly.
That's it, man. Wow. Well, there's 2 questions that I ask every guest, and as we're kind of getting to the end of this episode, you've already touched on both of them, I think, somewhat, but to make it a little bit more explicit for anyone that has watched this episode and they emulate you in some way, they would like to try to take steps towards where you are or where you're heading. The first one is, if you could go back and talk to your 16-year-old self, you just dropped out. It's you alone. You have 60 seconds to have a conversation with this younger version of yourself. What's the piece of advice? What is the information that you're sharing? And not like buy Bitcoin, but something a little bit more applicable, like from a skill perspective.
So I think when you start, your path is going to be so variable. There's so many aspects to it. Like even if we all had to restart right now, there's just so much shit you can do. Yeah. Just that singular decision is like 15, infinite million branches of ideas and paths. And then each step forward is another infinite amount of ideas. But I think a common denominator I would definitely do and wish I did when I started was I would take in way more info and be way more selective with the information I took in. So I'd go and specifically point out people that are very smart ahead of me and relevant and learn from them. Like one weird thing is Rich Dad Poor Dad's become such a common book to get people to read, but it's honestly pretty irrelevant to most beginner entrepreneurs. And it's also by someone who's like, he was smart and in his prime 40 years ago, but it does have its value points with investing. Point is learning from specific people. Like one of my most knowledge-driven books was that Hormozi 100 Million Offers book because it's so fucking relevant. So picking a guy like him, Russell Brunson, picking a guy maybe like Tony Robbins, he's a little broad though. Just picking those selective people to learn from, maybe some people you can, God willing, meet, and then learning like from them for like, I would say 100, 200 hours. And then once that's done, picking one specialized skill and then going all in on it or all out on it. And I'd say like just all in on it. Like right now you guys are in an easy decision, all in on it, but sometimes it won't work and you'll have to make that like, should I stop? Don't half stop, I think, and just full stop. And dude, between the knowledge info, then picking the easy thing, which will be easy once you took in all that info, I think $1 million in your bank within like 3 years is like no problem at all.
Yeah. Wow. I love the juxtaposition of you saying like, take in way more info, but be much more selective of the source of that information. And I think every month that becomes more and more prevalent with just the word vomit that is filling the internet and filling.
100%.
I mean, anyone can write a book now. Anyone can start a podcast now. Anyone can create content now. There's beautiful things about that, right? That's the reason why we're here right now.
What's cool is like, I love picking, that's crazy. It sounds picking competitors. Like if you guys find a cleaning business that's already at 50 million a month or some shit, or even someone else watching this, they're like, I'm their arc. I mean, I'm pretty intense with it, like war.
Yeah, I say like, enemy. You had photos on your wall and shit.
I say like your arch nemesis and stuff. But no, in reality, like if it's a competitor to yours that's doing the business you're doing and maybe doing it better or worse And what I love is sometimes you'll see that one person might be doing some things better, but some things worse, learning from it. So even for me, if I was starting or even if I looked at me and I'm like, man, whatever Jacob's doing, I know it's working. I see he fucking XYZ, especially like God willing, if I get to 20 mil, like when I get to 20 mil, I should say, when someone sees that, if they see, okay, from this video, then 2 years later, they see me again and I'm like, hey, I'm at 20 mil, I'm retired. That's like, fucking study that shit. Because there's some sauce. And I mean, look, fucking success leaves clues. We all know it's not that difficult to make good money. I think what's more difficult is the focus to it. Yeah. So I always say copy the right cats.
100%.
Love it. And the last question is more broad stroke. And you've kind of done this a couple times, but if you want to make it succinct, really applicable here, the audience, not your younger self, but the audience watching it. And, we have honestly an older audience. I think over half of our viewers are going to be older than we are, probably significantly. Wow. It's just the niche that we're in and the person that it attracts. What's a way that someone can make their life significantly better with something that isn't a full uprooting, quit your 9 to 5, start all, go. It's more so a practical, applicable thing. You've shared probably 20 of them, but if you could give one or two that someone could go and take and apply today.
I think keep it as simple as possible, because the simpler it is, the easier it is. And think of like 1 to 5 great habits you could take on every single morning. Because I think no matter what you're doing, having good days is imperative in that. And I think people don't properly plan those good days well. So I think plan that good day, keep it simple. Stuff like just maybe you're gonna set a cup of water with electrolytes in it. Every morning you have it waiting at your bed. You do it the night before. Or maybe for you wanna go and start a new supplement stack or ground or get some sun in your eyes every morning. Whatever that is, maybe 50 push-ups in the morning, the cold shower, the make your bed. Pick those like 3 to 5 habits, maybe 10, maybe 1. And the bigger thing is make sure it's done. Make sure it's done every day. Because even if it's one good habit every morning, like subconsciously, you're going to feel so good that you just start the day with that win. And get the phone. This is a no-brainer, Jem. Get your phone the fuck away from your bed. That's like one of the easiest fucking wins. Like get it the fuck, have it anywhere else in your room but your bed. If you want, I love letting my phone die. Sometimes I leave it dead and I'll just leave it dead for days. It sucks now. One of my bank accounts, this fucking banker, I started with Bank of America and I pushed in a lot of cash into one of the accounts. They forced me to get phone authentication. So I have to use my phone. Like every time I log in, I have to use the token. But past that, I would leave my phone dead forever. I am saying this and wish I was better at it. I'm not perfect with it, of course. But fuck, man, these phones are so terrible. So yeah, set some good habits every morning. Keep it simple and get it done.
What was the last time you like went to bed and like didn't have like a plan for like the next day?
Never.
That's the hardest part, bro.
I think maybe when I'm traveling, but even then, I have one really good gem. I guess I don't know if you guys want to end here or after.
Yeah, go ahead.
One sick fucking gem is I never store ideas in my brain. Even from this pod, I had some ideas right when we stop and we're done talking. I'm going to write them down. And I have one of the best idea and projects storage that I think any entrepreneur has. It's so great for me. Roughly, it's just my daily plan that I keep track every day. I've been doing for 4 years. So I have 4 years of like my days to do. And then I do an end of day report at the end of the day when I'm closing my loop. And then long-term ideas over 30 days, I put it in another page. And then any active task the next 30 days that isn't today in another page. It's 3 pages. They're super organized. I evaluate every task in cash per hour. It's like this shit changed my fucking life. But what I was going to say is nothing is ever stored in my brain. So no matter what, I'm always planning the next day and I'm storing those ideas, projects, and tasks. And then I just pluck the next most valuable one that I'm going to do the next day.
And this is like a Google Doc or like a
Notion.
Notion.
I love Notion, yeah.
We gotta get on Notion.
Do you have things, and I find this happens to me, so I'm curious for you. Do you have things that just stay on the list forever because they're just not big enough, where like there's something always bigger getting plucked off the top? Sometimes that comes to me.
No, I think it's normal. And I think it's okay. Sometimes those little ones, like sub 30 minutes, sometimes I'll just rip through like 10, 15 of them. I got blessed now. Like I really built up some of the top level members of my team and I'm now plugging them into my project manager, which helped a lot. Literally like almost like operations EA to an extent. It's like they're literally plugged into my brain at this point because I tell them my brain is that. Because I get really stressed on the concept of having to store things in your brain. I think your brain only has so much power. So to use it to store ideas, like I hate doing that. I try to use any tool accessible to decrease workload on my brain, to keep it to the things only it can do. Because your brain's a muscle. And like if you always have that muscle time and attention all day, it's done. Yeah. So I'm really big on that. But yeah, I totally feel that getting those like little tasks done is sometimes tedious, but I think it's okay. When those bigger tasks come up, spending time on them, it's needed.
I love it. Jacob, this has been a just fantastic episode. This has been like wonderful. I would say maybe arguably my favorite episode that we've shot yet. So
good ideas. You guys are going to come out of this 10 million a year. Simple.
We'll do a catch up episode in 12 months and we'll see where we're at in the process. But guys, thank you guys all so much for watching. What we're going to do, as always, we're going to have all of Jacob's social media put in the description. We're going to have mine, John's as well. If you want to stay connected with any of us, all the links and relevant information will be there. If you have any questions for any of the three of us, please feel free to drop them in the comments. We'll actively monitor them for a little while here. And if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you smash the like button and hit the subscribe button so that you never miss another episode of the Parker J. Smith Show. Jacob, thank you so much for joining us today. What a great episode. Guys, we will see you all in the next one. Peace.